Misty Law, where America's greatest mysteries finally get decoded.
He mocked the police, sent taunting letters to newspapers, and created cryptic ciphers that stumped even the best code breakers. Then he vanished, leaving behind a trail of terror and a name that still sends shivers down the spine: the Zodiac Killer. This is arguably America's most famous unsolved mystery, a case that has fascinated and horrified people for over 50 years. Who was this man who claimed at least 5 victims, and possibly many more, across Northern California in the late 1960s? In this video, we're diving deep into the chilling story of the Zodiac. We'll stick only to the verified facts, piecing together the timeline, the letters, and the evidence left behind. Forget the myths and exaggerations. Let's uncover the real, terrifying story of a killer who was never brought to justice. Let's get started.
Picture this: California in the late 1960s. The air is thick with the scent of patchouli and the sounds of rock and roll. It's the era of peace, love, and flower power. Hippies are flocking to San Francisco, dreaming of a new, gentler world, far from the conflicts raging overseas. The counterculture movement is in full swing, a vibrant explosion of art, music, and social change. But beneath this sun-drenched surface of idealism, a shadow is creeping in. A different kind of feeling is spreading quietly at first, then with a terrifying roar: fear. It starts as whispers, then turns into bold, screaming headlines splashed across every newspaper. Suddenly, those papers aren't just for morning coffee. They're becoming the source of a nationwide panic. While the youth are preaching love, someone else is using the media to spread terror. And the police? They're completely blindsided, unprepared for a new kind of criminal who thrives on public attention. The golden age of peace was about to face its darkest night. Let's rewind to the late 1960s in Northern California. Between 1968 and 1969, a series of chilling attacks began, forever changing the quiet communities. The first known victims were often young couples, simply enjoying a night out in secluded spots. These weren't isolated incidents, and police quickly started connecting the dots. A disturbing pattern was emerging, but the attacker's identity was a complete mystery. He left behind coded messages and taunted law enforcement, creating a climate of fear. This was different. This was calculated. The authorities realized they weren't dealing with random acts of violence, but the work of a single, elusive individual who seemed to relish the attention. The manhunt for one of America's most infamous phantoms had officially begun. The Zodiac's reign of terror wasn't just in the streets. It was in the headlines. Imagine opening your morning paper and finding a letter from a killer. That's exactly what happened. The Zodiac sent a series of chilling letters to major newspapers across California, but these weren't just confessions. They were filled with taunts, threats, and bizarre, cryptic symbols. He wasn't just committing crimes. He was creating a terrifying public spectacle. He even demanded the papers publish his letters or he would strike again. It was in one of these very letters that he gave himself the infamous name that would haunt America for decades. This is the Zodiac speaking. This move transformed him from an unknown assailant into a media-savvy monster, playing a twisted game with the police and the public. Stay tuned as we dive deeper into his cryptic messages. Imagine a serial killer who taunts the police not just with letters but with cryptic ciphers. This was the terrifying reality of the Zodiac Killer in the late 1960s. He sent a series of bizarre, coded messages to newspapers, daring anyone to uncover his identity. While the police and FBI were stumped, one of his most famous ciphers was actually cracked by an ordinary couple, a schoolteacher and his wife. What they uncovered was chilling a glimpse into the mind of a killer who claimed he was collecting souls for the afterlife. But here's the scariest part: that was just one of his ciphers. Others, including the infamous 340-character cipher, remained unsolved for decades, and some are still a mystery to this day. What other dark secrets are hidden within those symbols? Let me know your theories in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more unsolved mysteries. Ever wondered why the infamous Zodiac Killer was never caught? The answer is a frustrating mix of bad luck, outdated technology, and a cunning killer who loved to play games. Back in the late 60s and early 70s, police work was a different world. Multiple police departments were investigating the murders, but they weren't talking to each other effectively. Imagine, no central computer database to share clues. This meant vital information often got lost or wasn't shared between jurisdictions. On top of that, the police were swamped with false leads and even focused on the wrong suspects, wasting precious time. And the Zodiac? He reveled in the chaos, sending taunting letters and cryptic ciphers designed to mislead and mock the authorities. It was a perfect storm of investigative failures that allowed one of America's most notorious killers to simply vanish. Who was the Zodiac Killer? This mystery has puzzled people for decades. While many names have been thrown around, one suspect stands out: Arthur Lee Allen. Why him? Well, a former friend claimed Allen had confessed to the killings. Police also found suspicious items in his possession, like weapons and coded messages. But here's the twist: the evidence never fully added up. His fingerprints didn't match those at the crime scenes. Even more convincingly, DNA taken from the Zodiac's letters didn't match Allen's. His handwriting was also ruled out by experts. So, despite being the prime suspect for years, there was never enough proof to charge him. To this day, the Zodiac Killer has never been officially identified, leaving the case wide open. Ever wonder what happened to the Zodiac Killer? One of the most notorious unsolved cases in history just went quiet. After a terrifying spree of letters and cryptic ciphers sent to the press, the communications suddenly stopped. By the mid-1970s, there was no more confirmed activity from the killer, who had once taunted police and the public. So, where did he go? There are several theories. Some investigators believe the Zodiac may have died, taking his secrets to the grave. Others speculate he was imprisoned for another crime, or perhaps he simply moved away and started a new life under a different identity. And then there's the chilling possibility that he just decided to stop, voluntarily ending his reign of terror. Despite decades of investigation and countless suspects, the case officially remains unsolved. The Zodiac Killer vanished as mysteriously as he appeared, leaving a legacy of fear and unanswered questions. What do you think happened? Let me know in the comments. The Zodiac Killer did more than just terrorize California. He fundamentally changed the relationship between crime, law enforcement, and the media. He wasn't just a murderer. He was a performer who used newspapers as his stage, taunting police and the public with cryptic letters and ciphers. This sinister game of cat and mouse captured the nation's attention, inspiring countless books and movies, most famously David Fincher's Zodiac. His case also became a cornerstone for the development of modern criminal profiling at the FBI. Even today, the case officially remains open, a chilling testament to his ability to vanish without a trace. The Zodiac Killer isn't just a cold case. He's a ghost in the American psyche, a puzzle that continues to haunt us, and one of the greatest unsolved mysteries in criminal history. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into history's biggest enigmas.
You've reached the end, but the mystery remains. Subscribe for the next case.